Almost as soon as you install a new WordPress site, malicious bots begin scanning it for vulnerabilities. Over the years, hackers have built up long lists of web vulnerabilities they can use to compromise a site. They create bots that scan your site by running through that long list looking for weaknesses. We all know the importance of securing our sites, but there are a bewildering array of options for doing so. Hi, this is David McCann for WebTNG. And in this video, I'm going to look at a highly recommended plugin, Bbq Firewall. Firewalls are filters with rules to allow good traffic in and block bad traffic. Bbq stands for Block Bad Queries, the bad requests that bots make when probing your site for security holes. The author of the Bbq Firewall plugin, Jeff Starr, created and maintains a well-known and widely used PHP firewall that is currently in its 7th generation. This isn't software like you are used to. New firewall rules are carefully evaluated, some old ones may no longer be needed, and over the course of a few years of testing, a new version emerges. This software is open source, and the previous 6G and the current 7G firewalls have been included in a number of other security solutions and plugins, both for WordPress and in the wider PHP community. The Bbq Firewall plugin takes many of the rules of the 6G and 7G firewall and adds them to a WordPress plugin. The plugin is lightweight, fast, and does not slow down your WordPress site. False positives are very rare. The plugin works without conflict alongside other plugins, including other security plugins. There's a free version of the Bbq Firewall plugin available in the WordPress plugin directory. The plugin currently has more than 100,000 active installs, and it has 100 5-star reviews, and the developer is active in the support forum. There is a long list of ways that the plugin helps to protect your site. These include helping to prevent against SQL injection attacks, executable file uploads, directory traversal attacks, excessively long requests, cross-site scripting, protection against bad bots, bad referrers, and bad requests. When you install and activate the free version of the Bbq plugin, it starts working immediately. Here's a website where I have the free version of Bbq Firewall installed. It's been working on the site for a number of years. If we click to go to settings, we see that there are none. There's a thank you. There's a notice telling you that Bbq Firewall is completely plug and play, protecting your site automatically with no settings required. And there's an option to upgrade to the Pro version. And notice on this site where the free version of the Bbq Firewall is running, that the free version of iThemes Security is running. There's no conflict having both of those activated at the same time. The Pro version of the Bbq Firewall plugin is available on the author's website, Plugin Planet, where he hosts the Pro version of this and several other plugins. When we look at the features page, we see that there are a long list of features such as strong firewall security, plug-and-play functionality, no configuration required, fully customizable firewall, lightweight, fast, and flexible. It tells us about the options to send email alerts, to quickly enable and disable rules, to disable the firewall for logged-in users, block excessively long requests, to redirect all blocked requests, display a custom message, and set your own status code. There are inline docs, their statistics, and their tools, and it's powered by the 6G and 7G firewall rules. There's the option to customize everything, to test the rules, and more features. There's a docs section for Bbq Pro, and you can see it has articles about the settings, the firewall, the tools, and the license. There's some tutorials for the Bbq Pro plugin, and there's a support forum for the Bbq plugin. If we look, we can see that the Bbq Pro plugin is only available as a one-time purchase lifetime license. It includes automatic updates, free basic email support, and support through the forums and through the documentation and tutorials. You can purchase it for 1 site, 3 sites, 10 sites, or unlimited sites. Here I have a site with BBQ Pro installed, and it's been installed on the site for a few years. For the Pro version, as opposed to the free version, there are settings and options. BBQ Pro creates an extra menu area in the admin. We see there are settings, firewall tools, and license pages. On the settings page, you can enable or disable the basic rules, the advanced rules, and the custom rules. You can disable it for logged in users. You can limit long requests, strings. You can enable strict mode, which means that it even scans URL encoded strings. There's the option to send email alerts, to have a custom message and custom status code, and to whitelist IPs. If we look at the firewall page, we see there are 3 tabs: Basic, Advanced, and Custom. So when a request comes to the website, BBQ scans that request for these strings, and if it finds it, then it blocks it, because these are probes looking for vulnerabilities or things that can be exploited. Here you have the pattern, the string that's being checked. You have a button to test it to make sure it's working. And you have a count here that shows how many times this rule has been invoked and blocked a bad request. So we see some of them, it's kind of a low number, but here are some that are larger numbers. There are 3 types of rules. There's the request URI. There's the query string. And there's the user agent. The advanced rules are also broken into the same 3 categories, and these are rules that might be newer and haven't been as tested as much as the basic rules. The basic rules are pretty much what's in the free version of the BBQ firewall. So these are the advanced rules. Again, there's request URI, query string, and user agent. Then the third tab is the custom tab, and this is where you can add your own rules. These are rules that I added after I noticed in my web server logs these same kinds of probes and attacks being executed over and over again. For example, here's a user agent for something called PedalBot. And here's where bots are looking for ads.txt. Since I don't show any ads on the site, that isn't going to be there, but it's looking for that because there might be some kind of vulnerability. Or wallet.dat. Do you think that's maybe Bitcoin? I'm not sure. So there are the custom rules. And if we look at the tools menu, then here are some reset options for the settings and the different rule areas and for the statistics in case you need to reset them. So notice on this site with BBQ Pro, we also have Malcare Pro installed, and we have the Patch Stack firewall, which used to be called WebArcs. So BBQ Pro is running alongside these other 2 security plugins, and if we look at the rules, we can see even with those other firewalls installed, BBQ Pro is blocking a lot of bad requests. So now for some discussion and conclusions. There's one thing to note, and that is that the Bbq Firewall plugin does not have advanced protection for the WordPress login page. There's no brute force protection or IP lockout such as some of these other security plugins supply. The Bbq Firewall also does not provide 2-factor authentication or some other advanced features. Instead, the Bbq Firewall focuses on doing one thing well: filtering the various requests made to your site and blocking bad ones based on the active rules. These bad bots create a lot of churn, and when those bad requests get past a security plugin, then your server has to process them, and in many cases that results in running database queries. This takes away from the resources used for normal operations. A question that people often ask is if you can use the Bbq plugin with other WordPress security plugins installed. As I showed you when looking at the free version of the Bbq Firewall, that site also had iThemes Security free version installed. Many people don't realize that iThemes Security, a very popular security plugin with more than 1 million active installs, does not include a firewall in either the free or pro versions. I've often recommended the Bbq Firewall as a natural complement to iThemes Security. The 2 work side by side without issue. Also, the Pro version of the plugin was on a site that had Malcare and Patch Stack installed. Again, BBQ works fine alongside these other security plugins. I've used both the free and Pro versions of Bbq Firewall and have no hesitation about recommending them. They won't slow up your site, they work well even when other security plugins are active, they help to block bad requests, reduce needless churn, and keep hackers out. The author provides good support for both the free and Pro versions. There is virtually no downside and plenty of upside potential. Like Oxygen, the Bbq Firewall has no affiliate program. People learn of it by word of mouth because users are impressed by it. If you've been curious about the Bbq plugin or haven't known about it before, then I hope that this walkthrough and review has been helpful. So that's my look at the Bbq Firewall plugin. There's a text version of the video available on the WebTNG website, along with other walkthroughs, reviews, and resources. Thank you for watching.